Hello and welcome to DMVSTREAM.com's Game of the Week. It's the Concord District Lacrosse Championship as number 2 Robinson takes on number 1 Chantilly. I'm Jeremy Huber, joined by my partner Brad Miller. And Brad, when you talk about lacrosse in the state of Virginia, it doesn't get any better than this area.
It certainly doesn't. I mean, you've got two very great programs here in Chantilly and Robinson. You know, Robinson, one of the more storied programs here in the northern region, won multiple state championships. Was actually the first team to win the official state championship. And Chantilly, you know, as of recently, has become a very big powerhouse in this region. You know, they've always had one of the best defenses in the region, and tonight looks to be a great game between two very good programs.
And, of course, we've got some big-time players in this matchup. Our first player to watch for Robinson, it's the sensational sophomore. It's Chapman Jason.
Chapman Jason is one of the best, most silky smooth players I've seen come out of Northern Virginia in quite some time. I mean, he's got a great stick and just knows how to bury the biscuit into the basket. And, I mean, honestly, when it comes to sophomores, it really just doesn't get any better than him right now.
On the other side of things for Chantilly, it's a senior that helps lead the way. You mentioned that great defense. That'd be Jake Dancy, the guy who's headed off to BU next year.
Jake Dancy, you know, BU commit, you know, first, you know, going to be a 2014, you know, Division I school. He's probably one of the best takeaway defenders here in the northern region, and I really don't want to be the attackman who matches up with him tonight.
It should be interesting when you look at some of the youthful players on Robinson, their key guys, some of the older players for Chantilly, their key matchups. Time to take a look at our keys to the game. We'll start off, Brad, with Robinson. What are some keys for them to get a win tonight? Robinson
really needs to execute on their 6-on-6 offense. I mean, when they played Centerville this past Thursday, it seemed like, or excuse me, Tuesday, it seemed like all of their goals were scored in transition. Not a lot on 6-on-6 offense. You know, and that's really going to be a big key for them, is to make sure that their 6-on-6 offense is on point tonight.
Now, on the other side of things for Chantilly, the top seed in this one, playing at home, what are a couple keys for them to come away with a win?
They're really going to need to make sure that they contain Robinson in transition. You know, like I said, you know, Robinson scores a lot of their goals in transition, and it's going to come down to really whichever team wants to outrun the other tonight.
Had a chance to catch up with both coaches before the matchup. We start things off. Brad, get a chance to catch up with the folks at Robinson.
Coach Curran, what do you think are some key factors to winning tonight's game?
Just like in any lacrosse game, it's going to be a game of possessions, and we have to possess the ball. So that means starting out in the face-offs, being able to clear the ball well, and they have a tenacious ride. So we need to be really smart about how we get the ball to the field.
How do you guys feel with your chances of winning tonight?
Well, Chantilly's an excellent team. We played them to a 1-goal game last time we played them. We spotted them 4 goals. So we started out 4-0. And then we kind of came back. If we can play 4 quarters, I think we have a shot. But they're a really good team, so it's going to be tough.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And, of course, that was Brad with the head coach over at Robinson. Of course, Chantilly, Kevin Broderick, their head coach, I had a chance to catch up with him before tonight's matchup.
Coach, looking at the game tonight, obviously you guys have a chance to do something pretty special, run through the regular season with the undefeated record, and also come through and sweep the district tournament. How excited are you and the guys to go ahead and maybe accomplish something pretty special?
We're going to find out shortly. Guys, you know, depends on what they're thinking about right now. Been a long season so far. We got a lot of young guys, and they've done well for us throughout the year. And Robinson's a great team, very athletic, so it's going to be a great game. I'm not sure where they are right now mentally, to be perfectly honest, but we hope they're going to bring their A game.
Now, looking at this, people have really talked in glowing terms about your defense and how they've shut some teams down. Is that really key to success, not only tonight, but going forward, you guys having that defense keep that stellar play going?
We played 15 games and given up 55 goals. We've got an all-district goalie right now, 2 all-district, Hearst team all-district defensemen. It is one of the things we pride ourselves in. It's team defense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think it's spotted 4 goals.
And, of course, in this matchup tonight, it's a game that has been played already during the district season. And, Brad, it was a good one.
It was a great one, actually. You know, it was a 1-goal contest. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Chantilly basically gave Robinson a 4-goal cushion early on in the game. And Chantilly had to, you know, claw and scrape their way back in to get the W.
Now, of course, we talked about the seedings for this one in the district tournament. Of course, your standings on top of things. It was Chantilly. They were 5-0 in the district, beat everyone. Robinson 4-1. Their only loss coming against Chantilly. And Centerville checked in third place, 3-2. Oakton at 2-3 in the district play, followed by Westfield at 1-4. Herndon bring up the rear at 0-5. But again, when you're talking about a district like this, it's very tough to go ahead and get wins in the district. Taking a look at our bracket for the Concord District Tournament. Right now, of course, Chantilly got to this one, knocking off Westfield. A big win for the Chargers over the Bulldogs, 13-1. Westfield advanced with a win over Oakton in the first round. Robinson advanced to the championship game, a much closer matchup. That one, a 9-8 victory over Centerville. Centerville got here with an 11-2 win over Herndon in their contest in the first round. Taking a quick look, Brad, at the scoring comparison. You look at the rankings really in the northern region, and I think that's easy to say. When you look at the best lacrosse, that's a good way to kind of figure things out. You look at Robinson in the northern region. They were 8th on offense, 8th on defense, 8th in net scoring, scoring about 10 goals a game. Obviously, a little bit higher middle of the pack, but it's those numbers. How do those kind of read to you?
Honestly, those numbers read kind of low to me. I mean, I really think they have a much better offense and a much better defense than the numbers show. You've got a guy like Jack Roulette on defense, sophomore who's verbally committed to UNC, who's one of the flashier players in the region, and I've seen him literally shut guys down one-on-one.
Now, defensively, they're allowing about 7 goals a game. That's a net of around 3 goals per game. On the other side of things, Chantilly, as you'd expect, the Chargers a little bit better. They're ranked 3rd in the Northern Region on offense, about 12 goals a game, only giving up 4.6 goals per game. Puts them number 2 on defense, net, a 7.2 goals per game net. So if you're looking at Chantilly, that's a team that can score on you, but also shut you down and clamp you down.
Absolutely. I mean, Chantilly's attack is one of the more potent attacks in the region, and their defense runs a very good zone defense, and it's one of the harder defenses to penetrate in this area. I mean, you've got 3 guys out there who are all great players, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Robinson gets through on that zone tonight.
Now, I wanted to give a quick word from one of our sponsors. Dark Graphics Screen Printing and Embroidery provides spirit packs for teams, class shirts, and group sales with original designs serving Northern Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. for 15 years. Dark Graphics specializes in school and business apparel. Design your own custom shirts and apparel at www.darkgraphics.com. Of course, getting ready for our matchup here tonight, Brad, and of course, weather could be a factor. It's held off so far, but we're expecting some rain. What are some conditions out there on the field that obviously we're on AstroTurf tonight, or on field turf actually, so it's different than the old school stuff. There are some things that if we do get a torrential rain, that could affect the play out here.
It can affect a lot of things. I mean, it can affect you having the grip on your stick, being that all of these shafts are made of metal, and water and metal, obviously, it's you're going to slip around. Also, it can affect your pocket. I mean, with the water, it helps stretch it out, make it illegal, and it could even screw with your shooting strings. And we had a game the other night where we played in a torrential downpour against Robinson, and I mean, we had guys on the field coming off, fixing their sticks. It seemed like every other play. So the rain could end up being a huge factor, and I believe if the rain does become a factor, I would actually give Robinson the edge in that one due to the fact that they just played their game in the rain.
Should be interesting to see if it does affect the matchup, who it affects more. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. You're watching the DMVSTREAM.COM Game of the Week.
At DMVSTREAM.COM, we'll stream your verbal commitment live to our audience, viewable on computers, televisions, and mobable devices. Stream your college commitment live to the world. Let us know when and where you'll make the biggest choice of your athletic career, and we'll dispatch a producer. We'll handle all the technical, putting you in front and center under the brightest lights on your biggest day. You can blast your biggest moments to all your friends and family, as well as Facebook and Twitter followers. They can watch you make this choice live. Interested in having us stream your commitment? Fill out the form below and let us know how we can get involved. Remember, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and visit us on the web at DMVStream.com.
And of course, some of the wonderful moments that DMV Stream has brought folks so far in existence, and bringing some of the guys who've been able to go ahead and show their things. Let's take a quick break for the national anthem. our national anthem almost ready for play here at Chantilly High School. The Chargers, the homestanding team in this one, as the top seed in the Concord District Tournament. Of course, if you don't know, Chantilly 14-1 on the season overall, 5-0 in district play. Their only loss coming to Langley, 8-5, maybe ironically, in Robinson's spring break tournament. On the other side of things, Robinson 11-3 so far on the year. Overall, 4-1 in conference play. Losses for the Rams to Midlothian, Madison, and Chantilly. And interestingly, you, of course, have been keeping some tabs on the other matchups going. We mentioned both Madison and Langley. An interesting result in that matchup tonight.
A very interesting result, actually. I just received word recently that the Madison Warhawks defeated the four-time defending state champion Langley Saxons, and actually the six-time defending Liberty District champion Langley Saxons, 10-2. Huge upsets for Rich Hodge and his Warhawks tonight.
And of course, not only the upset, but the magnitude of the upset. Really, just a huge game and a blowout. You know, in lacrosse, you don't see that often, especially against two good teams.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think any of us here in the lacrosse community really saw Madison really blowing them out as bad as they did. I mean, it took me by surprise. I mean, I know that guys like Kyle Rowe and Matt Hayden from Madison, and even Kyle Mancini have all been having great seasons, but I don't really think there was one person in the area who really thought Madison had that much of a shot.
Well, they did, and definitely took advantage of it in tonight's match. I'm almost ready for the opening face-off in this one. Robinson going to be in their blue jerseys with the white numbers and the gold trim. Chantilly, the home team, in all white with the purple numbers, a little bit of black trim as well. Almost ready to get this one underway. Griffin Moore in the face-off circle for Robinson in this contest. Jason Park will do the honors for Chantilly. Almost ready to get things going on this hopefully dry night here in Chantilly.
It'll definitely be a blessing if we stay dry tonight.
That would be wonderful. We are underway. Fight for the ball, and we'll have a whistle. And possession will be with Chantilly. And Chargers and the Rams, of course, winner of this one gets the top berth into the Northern Region tournament. Very coveted, of course, the way everything breaks down. It's big to get a win here, despite the fact that Chantilly already have run through the district play undefeated, trying to do the same thing here in the tournament.
Great movement by ball movement by Chantilly so far.
Quickly moving things out as Kelly with it, he'll dish it off back out to the point position. It'll be a turnover, Robinson ball.
Great ground ball by Robinson, getting it into transition. Like I said, this will be one of the keys for them to get some goals on the board tonight.
An aggressive checking by Marson in the offensive zone, but Robinson quickly the other way with it. And Rams moving things around. And we've talked about it before, the Chantilly defense, really almost a shutdown type of defense, one that Coach Broderick really proud of, his guys really getting out there and stopping teams. Jason with it, the sophomore, of course, the leading scorer for the Rams so far in the season. He'll dish it off back out to the front as he gets it over to White, and he'll continue to move the ball around for Robinson.
It looks like Robinson's moving the ball pretty well tonight also.
Smith behind the goal. Almost went for a little pick there from White. Loose ball, ground ball picked up there by White, who will real cycle the offense. More set. Tried to set the wraparound. Misplayed. Ball's loose. Who'll get to it first?
Great save by Robinson, keeping it out of the sideline.
Sam Shaw on the play, the leading assist man on the season for Robinson, but it will be Chantilly's ball possession.
This is another player I'm really interested in watching is Conrad Unterkoffer. He's speaking to one of the Chantilly coaches earlier in the week. He told me he's a guy that possesses D1 speed, but doesn't really plan on playing lacrosse at the next level.
Unterkoffer, one of the captains for this Chantilly team, and also a first-team Concord District player, but a flag down on the play. I'm going to say offsides here.
That's going to be I believe, a technical 30-second foul right there.
So Robinson will be the team with the man down. Chantilly with the advantage as going into the box will be Chapman Jason.
That's going to be another key for Robinson tonight, is make sure to stay out of the box. They really don't want to see Chantilly's man-up offense tonight.
Another misplay there. Couldn't pick it up for Popham. Eventually he'll get it back. And again, Chantilly recycle, looking for the score. That one goes wide of the goal, and it will be Chantilly's possession.
Great backup by Chantilly. You know, that's one thing they want to make sure they do, is keep possession of the ball.
Good. Shot. That one again wide of the goal to the right. And again, it'll be Chantilly's possession.
I don't know. I think Kondracki was a little closer than the Chantilly attacker, but I'm also not the ref down there right now.
Of course, Nick Kondracki, the starting goalie for Robinson, 141 saves on the year coming to this one. That one will be blocked by Kondracki. Fight for it around net. Who will pick it up again? Another fight for it, looking for that ground ball, and eventually be recovered by Taylor Jones. Actually, it will not be. It goes back over to Chantilly. Again, fight for it. Shot. That one again missed wide. And this will be possession over to Robinson.
See, I don't agree with that one either. It looked to me like the Chantilly player was a little closer.
And doing the honors will be Jack Rowlett to bring it in for Robinson. Of course, Rowlett, he's the commit to UNC, just a sophomore. Good size, though, at 6'1", 185.
I know one of Chantilly's game plans is going to be limit Rowlett on the in the transition play, as he's one of their best clearing defenders.
Jones dishing it off to Jansen. He'll take it behind the net. Going to set up with Morissette. Morissette will get it back. Some staunch defense behind the net. Again, really no scoring opportunities so far for Robinson. We've seen a few for Chantilly.
Chantilly seems to be shooting the ball wide right and wide left tonight. I mean, later in the quarter, if they don't get that fixed, that could hurt them down the line.
Jansen. Nice matchup there. As Keel was on him. Shaw looking for an opening. That one high, knocked aside by Meehan. Look for another shot. That one blocked again. And Meehan again will make the save. Nice stick work by the goalie for Chantilly.
3 great saves by the Army, verbal Army commit, Meehan. You know, he's also one of the better goalies in the region. First team all-district.
And Meehan, of course, a question for you is that, Brad, a little shorter than most goalies from what I've seen.
He is, but honestly, you know, from what I've seen in this region, it's a hit or miss with, you know, tall goalies. I've seen some that are, you know, some of the best, and I've seen some that just cannot play. But a lot of the shorter goalies in this region end up being superstars.
And a penalty. So actually Chantilly, though they're in the offensive end, they're going to be a man down here. Shot. That one will be actually saved by Kondracki, gets it in the stick, and he'll go the other way, start the offense for the Rams. I believe the penalty is over. No one in the box. Very close to that box. Sometimes hard to see. Oh, knock loose. Nice stick work there. A turnover, and Chantilly takes it the other way.
Great check by Chantilly.
Ray with it. He'll stop, recycle, get it back out top to Christian. He'll look to work for the point. Zimmerman taking his time, looking to attack from the left side. Marked there by Bethard. Christian looking for the shot. Nothing there now. Nice pass. That one just aside again. Nice save there by Kondracki in net.
Another great save by Kondracki. He seems like he might be the X factor for Robinson tonight.
So really, I haven't seen too many of those big point-blank shots, and that's going to be a turnover and maybe a costly one. Goes over top of the stick of Buchholz.
From what I've seen from Kondracki, he seems to be better on the stuff that's coming in from up close and not so great with the stuff coming from outside.
Not a lot of point-blank shots in this one so far, though I'm sure later in this one will be coming. About 6 minutes left to go in our first quarter. No score here in the Concord District Championship between homestanding Chantilly and Robinson High School, the second seed in this one. Chantilly, of course, number 1. More work. Chantilly being very patient here, looking for their opportunity. McCarthy now dish it off. Alderman making a move. He'll go down to the ground and a turnover. Robinson the other way.
I don't know. I think the refs missed a push from behind on that one. That looked a little illegal to me.
Like Jones. He'll dish it back to Morissette. Now down low. Looking for an opening. Had one knocked away, and again, the Chantilly defense up to the task as a turnover there by White. Now turnover the other way. Chase for the ball, and White will come redeem himself, and he'll be knocked to the ground. Big stick there by Covino. Another way will go Chantilly. Nice play there. He's given go, not there. And knocked loose. And Robinson the other way, but a nice play there, forcing the action by Dancy. Gonna have a flag down on the play.
I believe the ref's calling that he did go out of bounds. Oh, maybe not.
It's gonna be a penalty on Robinson, it looks like.
No, I don't even think there was a penalty. I think it was just stop a play because he might have the ball went out of bounds, but it went off the Chantilly player, I believe.
With these guys kind of loafing their way through the penalty box, it's sometimes tough to tell who's going off for the play and who's going off for a couple minutes.
Well, it's the reason why it's so tough is because the penalty box and the substitution box are basically in the same area. So when you see somebody in there, you might think they're in a penalty, but they actually may not be. They may just be waiting to go onto the field.
With that free-flowing substitution sometimes. It'll be Chantilly ball. In their possession, they'll start things off. It'll be Comerford bringing it up. Comerford, long pass. That one again loose. Fought for it, be tracked down by Leslie. Of course, Leslie, first-team Concord District, headed to play at Frostburg next year.
Leslie's another guy I want to keep my eye on tonight. He's another player that's a little shifty being for a smaller guy. Should do very well at the next level up at Frostburg.
Kelly will bring it down the sideline. Look for some space. Isn't granted any. As Jones. Couple checks. Kelly looking for the opening. Jones on him tight, not giving him any room to operate. Just back out front. Again, a loose one will be picked up at the goal mouth. Again by Kondracki, not leaving any juicy rebounds. Still scoreless here at Chantilly, 0-0. Getting close to 3 minutes left to go in our first period.
Great clear by the Rams. You know, they've seemed to be clearing the ball very well tonight.
We'll have a timeout here by Robinson as they'll look to go ahead and figure out a way to score and break this scoreless deadlock. So far, no one has been able to get on the board in this matchup. I want to let you know that DMVSTREAM.COM broadcasts pro, amateur, college, high school, AAU, and youth games in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia live to televisions, computers, and mobile devices like iPads, iPhones, Androids, and more. Find out more at DMVSTREAM.COM. That's DMVSTREAM.com. And if you want to purchase a copy of this broadcast, you can get it on DVD or download it directly to your computer. Find out more at DMVSTREAM.com. Yeah, 0-0 our score in the first quarter as it's Chantilly and Robinson in the Concord District Tournament Championship. Brad, your early thoughts in this matchup, kind of how play has gone for both teams?
Both defenses are playing pretty lights out at the moment. You know, Kondracki's had quite a couple of saves here and there, and so is Meehan. You know, I really thought that the offenses would do a little more tonight, but it really looks like the quote "defense wins championships" is really going to come into play tonight.
Yeah, not too many big offensive opportunities, though. Have to go ahead and give some credit in net to Meehan. He made that really a bevy of 3 quick saves at one point when Robinson had only their good scoring opportunities so far. On the opposed, Chantilly has gotten maybe more opportunities, but then spaced out a little bit more.
That's true. Meehan's 3 in a row saves were pretty spectacular, and Kondracki's gotten a little lucky tonight with the fact that the Chantilly shooters seem to, want to shoot either wide right or wide left more than hitting the cage.
Haven't been on target. Almost ready to get play started here as Robinson will be their possession. I believe it'll be Connor Lloyd starting things off. Lloyd brings it behind the cage. Look to make a move, maybe look for the wraparound, and will he find the net? He will. Connor Lloyd, I believe, putting Robinson up. Referees looked at each other for a second, but that's a good goal, and Robinson onto the early 1-0 lead.
Lloyd had the matchup that he wanted. You know, he was matched up against a short stick defender, and you know, when you don't have that extra, you know, few feet of long pole and you can get around the guy, you can do that kind of stuff all night long.
So Robinson with the early 1-0 lead. Face-off between Moore and also Cafferty. Cafferty's able to go ahead and earn the possession. Now knocked away, and it goes over to Robinson as it's picked up by Buchholz, who will advance backwards and look to recycle the offense, though will be out of bounds and a miscue there. A little bit of miscommunication. Buchholz tried to send it back to the goalie, Kondracki, and couldn't connect.
It was a bad pass on Buchholz's part. I mean, you really can't blame Kondracki on that one, but you got to give the Kondracki credit for trying to get the ball back from the end line.
Well, Chantilly possession, looking for that one to go ahead and even things up here as they trail 1-0. About 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. At the point, and again, Curtis Christian. He'll bring it back and look to recycle.
The Robinson defense is keeping the Chantilly shooters as far out as possible, not giving them that easy inside shot.
Christian dishes it off. Shot. That one again will go wide of the net. I believe Kondracki got a piece of the shot by Kelly, but really didn't even need to. Again, it was one of those shots just not on the cage.
Yeah, Chantilly's got to find the cage tonight, you know, in order to win this game. I mean, you've seen, you know, majority of their shots go wide right and wide left, and the Robinson D is going to eat that up all night long.
Robinson keeping Chantilly at long range so far, trying to change that right now. A shot, another one knocked aside, and again, seems like Kondracki's been up for the challenge so far.
Great off-stick side hip save by Kondracki.
And now Robinson takes possession back. Kondracki will bring it up the field off to Jones. We'll get things going the other way for the Rams.
And look at the speed of Conrad Unterkoffer. I mean, he just came right from behind and just started stick-checking number 2, which is Taylor Jones, and just completely harassed him all the way up the field.
Well, Jones able to keep possession, didn't lose the ball, and now still on the offensive side, Sam Shaw, the assist man for the Rams, shot. That one to go wide of the net, and it will be Robinson possession.
Yeah, both teams are doing a great job backing up their shots to keep possession. Yeah, that's really going to come into play later on in the game.
Robinson in the offensive zone here. They'll bring it back out and look to recycle. Connor Lloyd at the point. He slips down again. First time we've seen someone slip on the field turf.
He got hit by he got bit by the turf monster.
A bit tough, especially with some. Maybe a little bit of wetness in the air. Could end up being a little bit slick out there. Shot, that one will be blocked. Nice save there by Meehan. And back the other way goes Chantilly, though a lost ball here, eventually gotten back on the play by Ray.
Another great save by Meehan, you know, kept himself right there on that pipe and didn't give any inch to the shooter.
Nice play by Christian to split the defense, keep things going forward for the Chargers. Getting late here on the clock. We've got about 10 seconds. Christian sends it back out, looking for a shot. That one knocked away. Robinson defense, and that will end the first quarter as Robinson, Chantilly, the team that everyone knows for their defense, Robinson playing some very good defense as they lead it here 1-0 after the end of one period. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. You're watching the DMVSTREAM.com Game of the Week.
Hey there, I'm Dan Sousa, editor of Viva Loudon and host of the aptly named Viva Loudon Live with Dan Sousa, which airs weekly here on DMVSTREAM.com. I'll be here to give you the latest updates and insights on high school sports in Loudoun County, Virginia. You can follow us on Twitter @Viva Loudon. And while Viva Loudon was recently called spunky and cute on Twitter, this live show should lay that notion to rest. But we will be live. This isn't no Beyonce business. You never know what will happen on the show. So, log on and check us out.
And welcome back to Chantilly High School. 1-0. Robinson leads Chantilly at the beginning of the second quarter in the Concord District Tournament Final. Quickly got to say, though, Dan Sousa, we just had a quick little advertisement featuring him, Brad. Dan, one of my good friends from out Loudoun County, a guy that really does a great job with the sports and his show on DMVSTREAM.com. A lot of folks watch it. A lot of information in that show. It's always one of those things you always wonder, how can a guy get that much information in his head? But he knows a little bit of something about everything, and people love him in Loudoun for it.
You know, and it's funny that you mentioned that. A lot of guys recently have been telling me the same thing with, you know, going on lacrosse in the area, that they've seen that I think that I'm very knowledgeable, but I actually just know a lot of it from being around it and, you know, using the internet. You know, the internet's a great source for any information that you need.
And I tell you, when you talk about lacrosse, I don't know if there's a more devoted fan base than lacrosse fans to their sport. So many websites with comprehensive information, and a lot of folks really hope watching this game tonight and loving every minute of it. Again, 1-0. Right now, Robinson with the lead as they will win the face-off and win possession here.
I believe that's Robinson's third face-off win tonight, as they that's their second face-off win, as Chantilly won the opening face-off.
Again, the Rams taking their time on the offensive end after that first goal of the contest. And looking in, cross, not there, crossing pass, looking for the cutting White on that play and unable to find him as it kind of got knocked away by a Chantilly defender.
Meehan tried to go for the nugget on that one, and it almost bit him because it went right back into the offensive player's stick for Robinson.
Shaw looked for an opening there, not there. Again, back out up top, and Lloyd will recycle the offense, but a nice defensive play to be taken away. Good job there by Covino to get in and take that ball away and get possession back over to the Chargers.
Chargers just look so fluid with their ball movement tonight. I mean, other than that one, they've rarely dropped any passes tonight.
Chantilly working behind the net. Leslie, we talked about him heading off to Frostburg State next year, all first-team Concord District player. A few of them in this game. We'll kind of run them down as they go through the game, kind of put them in also. At one point, we'll get you the entire list of all the players. Shot, that one knocked aside there by Kondracki, and it will be Robinson ball.
That's kind of surprising. It looked like Kondracki got a piece of it. Even though it's a shot, I thought it would still go back to Chantilly, but I guess because it is a shot, it's going to go right back to Robinson.
Chantilly will fall back as Robinson will bring it up. And really, a well-played game so far, but not a lot of scoring. Kind of tight to the vest so far. I don't know if that's just the good defense or guys a little bit tight.
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, you've got Robinson coming off their OTW against Centerville, who, by the way, is one of the more improved teams in the region this year. And then you had Chantilly coming off of a 13-1 drubbing of Westfield, who was kind of a disappointment this year. Kind of looks to me that Robinson, with the tougher competition, is ready. Really came out to play tonight.
Again, but still about a 3-day layoff. Those semifinal matchups on Tuesday. Now over behind the net. Robinson again working, looking to go ahead and get themselves a 2-goal advantage out in front. That will find the back of the net, and a nice play there as finding the back will be Matt Smith, giving Robinson a 2-0 lead.
Matt Smith just received a great pass from X and is right in front of the goalie. And, if he would have missed that shot, this place would have gone nuts.
But again, you talked about it earlier on. Chantilly unable to get shots to the net, kind of going wide. That one for Robinson right on, and a score. And now we look down, an injury on the play, and this one could be a key one as it's going to be Thomas Kelly. He's going to go off. Not Thomas Kelly, Zach Rook is going to go off on the field with plenty of help from the coaching staff. Doesn't look like he can put any weight on his left foot. Maybe an ankle injury. Don't want to speculate, but again, that would be a tough one for Chantilly.
It would definitely be a tough one, as I believe Rook is one of their better short-stick midfielders on defense. And it's really going to stifle the defense. And that's another win by Robinson on face-offs.
And always tough. People say that in lacrosse. If you can have a guy that can win those face-offs, it's easy. You don't give the team the other. They have to take the ball away from you to go on offense. Such an advantage to get a guy that can win those face-offs.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why Madison beat Langley tonight was face-off midi Kyle Rowe. basically dominated the game from what I was told.
You know, it's in any game where you have that face-off. Hockey talks about it all the time. You have a guy that can win face-offs. You're really going to makes it so much easier for you because you're starting the offense. The other team's not going to get that chance to score. And speaking of scoring, a shot wide there of Meehan in the goal, but Robinson will stay on possession.
You know, once again, both teams doing a great job of backing up their shots to keep possession of the ball.
Working around again. Robinson looking to go ahead and extend this lead out, leading 2-0 with just under 9 minutes to go in the second period.
You know, once again, Robinson's getting those great matchups with the short stick defensemen.
Buckley looked for that pass. Now Morris ends up getting it back. He'll dodge and kick it back out as Robinson recycles, starting with Shaw at the point. Shaw with a run, cut off by the defense of Chantilly. Not seeing a lot of runs to the net. Obviously some good defense by the Chargers. Another shot attempt goes wide. We picked up by Jason, who'll go down, pull a little bit of an O.J. Simpson there, sliding to the ground and getting back up. The famous highlight from Monday Night Football. Again, showing his athletic ability. We talked about not the biggest of guys, but he is so good, and the coaches rave about what he can do out there on the lacrosse field.
I mean, like I said earlier in the broadcast, I mean, he's one of the smoothest players I've seen in quite a long time, and his stick skills are just amazing. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be a ton of fun to watch over the next couple of years.
And still some guys who are pretty fun to watch in net there. Meehan making the save. Nice shot there by Lloyd. One of the first direct hits Robinson's had a chance to get. Now Chantilly on the offensive end trying to cut into this 2-goal deficit, 2-0 here. They trail the Chargers, the top seed in the Concord District Tournament. Robinson, the number 2. Chantilly looking to break the ice. Couple substitutions as Chantilly will take time, get it out to Alderman. Freshly into the game.
You know, Robinson defense doing a great job keeping him away from the goal tonight. I really thought this, you know, it would be the other way around with both these teams playing.
And look for the shot, and the Robinson defense with some hard hits there as Marson tried to bring it into the teeth of the defense, and it'll stay with Chantilly. Marson kind of worse for wear there after a couple of nice licks by the Ram defense. Almost like if you're Coach Curran, you like that. Say, hey, if they're going to get a run, they're going to pay for it.
Exactly. You know, Robinson's defense is, you know, one of those defenses that can get out there and they'll bang you around a little bit. They're not afraid to lay a big hit if they have to.
He showed it there. Marson got popped by about 2 or 3 players as he tried to take it into the net, ended up going to the ground.
This is definitely a defense that's going to make you work for those goals.
Chantilly with it. Making a run, Alderman trying to get to the net. That one, I believe, either the stick or the post, the way that thing bounced off.
It looked like it hit the top pipe.
Again, Chantilly keeping possession. Zimmerman back out front. Loses it now, but still staying possession. Picked up by McCarthy. Again, Chantilly being deliberate here, and they have plenty of time to do that. Just under 6 minutes to go before the half. Zimmerman, nice move, looks for the wraparound attempt. That one will be knocked aside. And again, no Coles getting past Kondracki so far in this contest. Looked like he kind of couldn't find the ball at first.
Kondracki lost the ball, but tonight he's really proving to me that he should have been voted as a first-team All-District goalie. I mean, he's really playing lights out so far tonight.
Kondracki, second team behind the goalie for Chantilly, Meehan, but really playing very well in this one. And again, now Chantilly going to take their time. Alderman from the point, looking to set something up. He'll dish it off. And again, nothing in there. Robinson tightly packed across the field to Noakes. And again, Marson with it, and he'll look to direct some traffic. Come back to the point, look to start something off.
Looks like Robinson's giving Chantilly a little dose of their own medicine and running a little zone out there tonight.
And another save for a second and loss, and Robinson gets it back. And again, It'll be the Rams stymieing Chantilly in the offensive zone. Ground ball fought for, will be picked up as Covino gets it. We'll look to start some offense.
Yeah, Covino's been all over the field tonight.
With these teams, deep rosters, definitely the substitutions have been coming and going so far.
I mean, it's great when you have these deep of a bench. You can just keep subbing and subbing and subbing and keeping the fresh legs out there so that nobody's getting too tired, especially on a hot night like tonight.
A little bit muggy out there. Again, expecting some rain later in the night, though some of it called for it to already be here. Shot from the point, knocked away.
Another great save by Kondracki. Again, another one.
Kondracki playing wonderful on the net. That time almost a point-blank look by Marson. But again, finding the stick of Kondracki. Oh, nice run there by Fisher. Will bring it into the offensive zone, but throws it away. This is going to be Chantilly ball.
Now, what looked like was going to be a successful clear, was just a straight thrown out of bounds by the Robinson offensive player.
Robinson defense making life hard as Chantilly brings it into the offensive zone. Unterkoffler, he'll look for the shot. That one knocked away, fought for, and going to have a whistle here. And this is going to be Chantilly ball.
It looks like the Robinson defender stepped into the crease and then stepped out. I mean, it's definitely a no-no in lacrosse.
So Chantilly will stay with it. As again, trying to cut into a 2-0 deficit. Under 3 minutes to play before the half. And I tell you what, if you're Chantilly and Coach Kevin Broderick, you had to have thought, hey, wouldn't be scoreless this deep into the game, but they have been. Big collision there, ball kept by Chantilly. They'll look to recycle. Chance here, shot. That one again knocked away by Kondracki, and they will blow it dead. This will be, I believe, as the referees talk it over, they're going to say the possession stays with Chantilly.
I didn't exactly see what happened on that one, but Kondracki seems to be standing on his head tonight, making some very, very good saves.
That was Christian, I believe. They had the point-blank shot and couldn't get to go down. Been approaching 2 minutes before the half. Chantilly trails Robinson. Remember, Chantilly the top seed, Robinson the number 2 seed. These two teams, of course, faced off during the season. Chantilly winning that one to maintain their undefeated record, but only a 1-goal win. So these teams played a very close game earlier in the season. Playing a close one now, but Robinson jumping out to this early lead.
Kind of surprised that Robinson has this 2-goal lead early on, as we talked about Chantilly's defense being so stout. But as of right now, it really looks like Robinson's defense came to play tonight.
Unterkoffler shot. He'll find the back of the net. Conrad Unterkoffler puts Chantilly on the board with a wicked shot from out front.
I guess I spoke too soon. Conrad Unterkoffler, sitting on the about the 25-yard line. Hits it, look about top right against the goalie, which is stick side. Kind of surprised Kondracki didn't get a piece of that one.
That will cut the deficit in half. 1:45 left to go in the half. It's Robinson 2, Chantilly 1, and the Chargers can win this face-off here. We'll have a chance to maybe even this thing up going into the half. Face-off will be controlled by the Chargers coming in after the scrum there. Brendan Wallace, and he'll start things off for Chantilly. Chargers into the offensive zone. Crowd urging them to shoot and find that net.
Kind of surprised defenseman Jake Dancy didn't even try to shoot the ball. He had the open lane, and especially when you have that 6-foot pole, you just get such good leverage with it. You can really fire a rocket right into the goal.
Kevin Broderick, the head coach for the Chargers, looking to talk things over. 1:15 left to go in the half. Let's take a break. We're going to take that short break and stay with us because you're watching the DMVSTREAM.com Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Monica, and I'm currently a play-by-play voice for DMV Stream's Game of the Week. Each week we provide an exciting broadcast of one of the area's top games that has been selected by viewer votes and which can be watched on your computer, tablet, or mobile device. It's a great opportunity for those who can't make it to the game or who live outside the DC metro area to see some of the region's top talent. I've been working as a sports broadcaster for 5 years as a play-by-play analyst, color commentator, and sideline reporter for college and high school games. I've been involved with broadcasts of everything from football, basketball, soccer and lacrosse, to volleyball, track and field, rowing, wrestling, and ice hockey. We love to hear from you, so please contact us through Facebook, Twitter, or at DMVSTREAM.com, and hopefully we will live stream one of your favorite team's games soon.
Dark Graphics Screen Printing and Embroidery provides spirit packs for teams, class shirts, and group sales with original designs serving Northern Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. For 15 years, Dark Graphics specializes in school and business apparel. Design your own custom shirts and apparel at www.darkgraphics.com. That's www.darkgraphics.com. Also, we'll be throwing out some shirts, some DMVStream.com shirts tonight at the half. So if you're watching on your smartphone, keep an eye out for those. If you're watching from home and you've got someone here at the game, let them know we're going to be throwing some shirts out there. Get it. It's one of the cooler shirts. We're going to have to put one on Brad later in the game, I think.
I'm okay with that. You know, I'm always down with free swag. You can never turn it down.
It's the one thing about playing, being an athlete, you're always looking for that free anything, any walk of life is. It's radio and guys who've been athletes. I can say I've been both. You're always looking for the free stuff.
Always looking for the free swag.
Hunter Koffler up top. He's the one that cut into the lead, looking to do something again, get his team tied up. He'll dish it off, ends up getting loose, but Hunter Koffler comes back. Nice play on the run to go ahead and pick that ground ball up.
You know, Hunter Koffler did a really good job, you know, recovering that botched pass that he had thrown over to his teammate. You know, I got to give him a lot of credit. He seems to be seems like he might be a force on the field tonight.
And whistles. That will be Robinson ball.
It looks like it was a moving pick called on the Chantilly. I didn't really see it as it was a big, you know, jumble in front of the goal, but obviously with the ref having a better view than me, I'm sure he made the right call.
And an unforced error there as Robinson going for the long pass across the field throws out of bounds. You got to give credit on that play to Marson. Had the stick up, harassing the Robinson defensive player, throws out of bounds, and now Chantilly is having to guard it for the last 30 seconds. They're getting a chance to score here.
It was a great ride by Chantilly forcing the ball to go out of bounds. You know, they gave up the possession, and now they just get it right back and see if they can put one up here in the last 20-so seconds in the game, or the halftime.
Hunter Koffler with the wraparound attempt, not there, and up for the challenge was Kondracki to bring it aside. And now the whistles, and we'll see. The possession will be awarded here to Chantilly. And again, it'll be a timeout. Just 13 seconds here on the clock. So if you're Kevin Broderick, I guess let's go ahead and let's ask this to you, Brad. What do you do here with this little bit of time left on the clock?
I'd have to draw something up to see if we could, you know, you can get past this defense that Robinson's throwing at him. I mean, right now, Robinson seems to be throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him, and they just cannot penetrate this defense. I bet you Coach Broderick is in there saying, oh, maybe he's not. It looks like he's having a meeting with the refs, but I'm sure one of the Chantilly coaches is down there drawing something up to try to get there and score a goal before halftime.
And again, it is a big huddle. You talked about it. Both these rosters are big. I believe the Chantilly side with 40 guys out there, 39 for Robinson. So definitely some big rosters here and a lot of things to talk over in a little bit of time.
And that's actually been the norm this season for most teams. As a lot of the games that I've been to, you've seen these teams just have huge rosters, and it just shows the great growth of the game in the area. I mean, back when I played in the late 90s, you know, they were grabbing kids out of baseball, tryouts who missed the team, handing them lacrosse equipment and saying, go have fun. Now it's not so easy. You know, a lot of these kids, you know, are coming up through the youth league, and they've already got 4 or 5 years of experience, and they're ready to go, you know, with how many guys you got that are freshmen on varsity. They're all ready to go from the get-go.
And I want to let you know you can purchase a copy of this broadcast, get it on DVD, or download it directly to your computer. Find out more at DMVSTREAM.com. Should be a very good broadcast, a good keepsake, because this one looks like it's going right to the end. We're going to say it's been called due to lightning. So we've seen some lightning here. I believe there's going to be a bit of a delay, but they're going to get everyone out of the stands. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a break here. We'll go ahead. We'll see if we can come back and bring you more of this broadcast. Right now, let's go ahead and take a break. We have a lightning delay here at Chantilly with Robinson leading 2-1 in the Concord District Championship game.
I'm thinking it's cold. Like, it's too good of a game.
Okay, guys, get your cameras put in someplace. Usually like 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Do you want me to go find out?
Put them someplace safe.
I'm like,
But I'll do it. Do you know for how long? We know for how long. You doing okay?
30 minutes after the last strike, you know.
30 minutes after last strike.
Okay. How's it going?
Bye, guys. They're making everything. Okay. Are you talking about the camera?
What is he saying here? Yeah, you guys got everybody else is got how's everybody else doing? I mean, all right. I mean, Joe, you know, Katie's at Mary Walsh. He couldn't play this year. Todd West, Joey Marston, senior, Mary Walsh, he's playing like he's a machine. And Jared's there too. Jared's got a lot of playing time, and so did Chris from Robinson.
Yeah, we're allowed to. Yep. All right, man.
Let's thank you. But it's like I watched the game. Like, how am I doing?
Okay, change your plans, guys. Listen to me.
Okay.
First of all, are you still up there, Nick? Nick, are you still there? All right. Can you put the DJ wants to see the camera off live still? Can you just turn it back on real quick? I'm going to come to it. I'm going to put a graphic over it, and then we're going to. I made stuff back, but I don't know. Okay, I'll see you. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
How you doing?
And then Ryan watch that stuff on it.
Seconds left. I'm like, how am I doing?
Everyone on the field on the track. Please remove yourself from the field.
Are we doing like a live thing here at the booth? No. I'm going to put up the score.
It's on TV or
It's on. They say the neighbors get pissed.
pretty low scoring game. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, that's the Westfield.
He said good, try to cut down the uhs. I'm trying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I told him I wanted him to, though.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You're doing a good job.
Thanks. All right, take it easy, Jed. I'll see you on Tuesday if I don't see you before.
Yeah.
We're going to keep the stream going here, guys.
Did you see a lightning bolt? It must
I
have been
didn't see it.
500 miles away.
It may have been that way. Was it that way? Yeah, I didn't see it. They said it was on the 28th side.
Yeah, go ahead and get that camera back up.
I said something. I was like, Centerville, one of the most improved teams in the region right now. Oh, come on, man. You know I'm going to give a